Okay guys, so what we've got is some gluten-free rolls. Now I'm not allergic to wheat products, but the difficulty is for anyone that's engaged in a lot of physical activity and sport who is eating a lot of high energy food. A lot of that is wheat derived, and you can become intolerant to gluten because you're eating so much. So eating gluten-free is obviously a choice, so people can choose to eat gluten-free if they want to, but it doesn't really have any health benefit in reality, unless you have something like celiac disease where you're intolerant, totally intolerant to wheat and wheat derived products. But if you're somebody that's going to be consuming a lot of pasta, a lot of carbohydrate, wheat-based carbohydrate, it's a good idea to start having gluten-free early on, because you're not going to develop that intolerance. A lot of professional cyclists now have to have gluten-free because their stomachs have become intolerant to wheat-based or the gluten in wheat-based products. So better to start now and not develop that allergy or that issue. So I've got 2 gluten-free rolls. I've got ham on, which is obviously going to give a lot of protein. So that's my protein. 2 rolls, ham on, a little bit of butter. That is enough. Now, as I mentioned when I was on the ride the other day, excuse me while I put these away. I'm currently eating pretty much every hour while I'm out on the ride. Now the reason for that is not because I'm hungry every hour, it's to stop me being hungry. So it's to prevent me becoming very hungry, and then when I get back here, having been out on the ride for 50 kilometres or 60 kilometres or whatever it is, from me binge eating on something that's not not right. So you're walking in the door here and you're throwing crisps down your throat, or sweets, or buns, or whatever's to hand because it's convenient, is not the answer. And there's a thing called what they call the golden hour. When you get back from your exercise, particularly in cycling, there's a golden hour. Oh, sorry, by the way, this is the rice cake. So I'm wrapping up the homemade rice cake, which is the rice with coconut milk, sugar, salt, and a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on the top. So that's my carbohydrate. So I've got my protein in the rolls, and now I'm wrapping up a couple of rice cakes for my carbohydrate. So I'm getting protein and carbohydrate. I'm not feeling hungry while I'm riding or when I get back. I am not using too much of my own resources. I'm actually putting resources into my body as I'm cycling. So I'm using these resources. I'm using this protein and I'm using this carbohydrate while I'm riding, and not just using mine. However, I am, as I've mentioned, I am losing weight. And the reason I'm losing weight is because I'm using more, I'm burning more calories than I'm putting in. So even though I'm eating on the ride, and I will eat when I come back, but in that golden hour when I come back, I will eat a very particular thing. So I'll eat initially as much protein as I can. So I've got some very lean pork steaks in the fridge, and they take 10 minutes to do. So I'll have those. So I'll come back and I'll have those, and I'll probably have a bit of pasta. Knock some pasta up. I've got some pesto made, some spinach pesto. There's a lot of protein in spinach. So with spinach pesto, you're getting both the carbohydrate from the pasta, and you're getting the protein from the spinach. So those two things, having the meat as soon as I get in. I'm not at the stage, the pro cyclists, obviously their bodies are under so much pressure that they have to supplement their diet with supplements. So they will have a protein drink as soon as they come in. So they'll get a protein drink down them just to replace the protein that they've burnt whilst they've been on the bike. Bearing in mind they've been on the bike all day. They've probably ridden 250 miles flat out. So I'm in a different scenario. I don't need to supplement myself in that manner. I just need to eat sensibly. I need to, the conversation I was having with, I think it was Carl on the channel regarding food and diet, and I'll go much more into diet if people are interested in that. It's not diet like you can't eat this and you can't eat that. In fact, I'm probably eating more now than I was eating before Christmas, but I'm eating different food, or it's not necessarily different, but more in a more controlled manner. So I'm preparing a lot more food myself, so I know what's in the food, and so I know where my sugars are coming from, I know where my carbohydrates are coming from, I know where my protein's coming from, and in that way I'm able to control what's going on a lot more. So that's what I mean by diet. I don't mean you can't eat this and you can't eat that and you mustn't, you've got to go on some 2 peas a day type fast. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about eating in a different way. And actually, you think, I know everyone's like, when you talk about exercise, everybody goes, oh, it just takes so long. It doesn't take so long. If you just do it, if you just get on that ball and you do those couple of back exercises, it might take me 10 minutes. It might do. It might not. It might take me 6-7 minutes, but it might take me 10 minutes. And you can do it, especially the knees. I mean, I can sit there and rock forward and back to get my knees right while I'm on the computer or anything. You just do it until they feel right. You can do the back exercises in front of the TV if you like watching TV, or if you like watching YouTube. You can sit on the ball and do the back exercises there. You can still hear what's going on. So 10 minutes for the exercises. And what a big change I've made, I would say, is that I cook more food when I'm cooking. So when I'm preparing food, instead of just preparing that meal, I will prepare a lot more food so that I've got that food to access very quickly when I want to have it. So Carl was saying he's got a tendency to snack, and we all have a tendency to snack. We've got, whether we have got 3 regular meals a day or whether we've only got 2 meals or whatever it might be, we've got a tendency to snack in between, and that's the problem, is that snack stuff. So by all means, have the snack stuff. Don't think you can't have the snack stuff, but make it good stuff. Make it decent food that you've already cooked the night before. So maybe you were able to do some new potatoes in pesto, or you did some nice greens, or you did something, and you're able to have a bit more of that and have it all mixed up together in a pot, and you can go for that when you have your snack. And that's your snack, not a bag of crisps and a donut or whatever else. Because, I don't want to go too far into that now, it's another subject. But, that's the key anyway, is to control what you're eating. It's not a case of eating less. You don't have to eat less, you just have to control your eat. And make sure what the output is more than the input. And then you'll lose weight, if you want to lose weight. Not everybody does want to lose weight. So that's the food. So today I've got it in a pot, because I'm taking a rucksack with me with all the camera bits and all the other things, and I've still got more tools because I'm adjusting the bike as I ride. So I've got room to have it in here. Normally I'd wrap these up in tin foil and just put them in the pockets in the back of my jersey. So I've got the rolls wrapped up individually, I've got the rice cakes wrapped up individually. If I had any brownies or anything, Lisa's eaten all the brownies. If I had any brownies left, I would wrap them up individually and put them in my pocket on the back of my jersey. So that's that. So these, obviously I made a big batch of rice cakes. These stay in the fridge. All I've got to do is knock a couple of chunks off and wrap them up, and then I can take them with me for my carbohydrate. So that's an example of preparing, cooking too much. Alright guys, so that's that little bit of the prep for the ride. So I've got my food. I'm only taking orange, what we call orange squash, orange cordial in my bottle at the moment. I'm not taking an energy drink. I want to train without energy drink and then maybe have the benefit of it if I need it in racing. So I don't want to be relying on that. I want to be relying on my food, and I want to be relying on simple sugars when I come back and carbohydrate and protein when I come back, and get my body used to that rather than keep supplementing with an energy drink and then become reliant on the energy drink. So I'm just drinking squash at the moment, which is fine. You know, water's the most important thing. The other things are all just a benefit, really. All right, guys. So I hope that makes sense and it is of some interest to people. I'm going to get ready now, and then I will bring you along for the next part. Okay.